All right. Yo, Gaten, what's up, man? God damn it. Fighting the Sandman? Well, I do feel a little guilty for keeping you up. Not that you didn't have to come here, but you need some tea. Be right back. Awesome, brother. Let's see. Jacorian, what is up? Camila Arenas, what's my favorite anime character? Jubei Kibagani. PQ, I have no idea what you mean by that, but I'm drawing my own thing. IKEA, no. Mohit Kandare. PQ, you send $10 over and we'll talk. But I'm gonna doodle up this thing that I wanted to doodle first. I am drawing King Kong because I just got back from watching the new movie and it was pretty damn good. Never drawn a monkey before, so this is a kind of a whole new thing for me. I am using reference. Courtney. Hello, my friend. Ms. Lost Illusion. Jessica is unable to join us as she is out of town camping. Apparently the first of many camping trips that she said her and her husband are going to be doing because they're big on the outdoors like that. Yeah, that new Kong Godzilla movie. I've kind of enjoyed the last ones, the last couple, but I've never watched them more than once. But my son, my oldest boy, who's 11, he's like, Daddy, we need to go see that movie. Can we go see it? It's the first time my son asked me to take him to a movie. I'm like, absolutely. PQ, I'm not sending out personal information on the chat. There's a super chat function to do that that way. If you're serious, you can just donate right in the app here. Otherwise, I'm not going to give that out. Drawing King Kong from the Kong movie. I was just saying, I just got done watching it. I just got back just in the last 30 minutes with my kids, and my kids absolutely loved it. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of inspired to draw Kong here. Got some reference out. Who doesn't like a giant monkey? Yeah, Courtney, I mean, I guess it depends on what you think about these kind of movies. Like the King of the Monsters, I thought was kind of fun with Godzilla fighting the other three, um, and then Godzilla versus Kong was kind of fun. But this one I just got back from, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of ridiculous, and there's a lot of destruction. But and part of my enjoyment of it might be that my kids had such a great time. They're 9 and 11, and they were absolutely shitting themselves with the movie. They were just, my oldest boy's like, Daddy, that's the best movie I've ever seen in my life. Thank you so much for taking me. So I was kind of wrapped up in how much they were loving it. But it was actually really fun. It made me a fan. Like, I've always liked King Kong, but I'm kind of a bigger fan of King Kong right now. It's kind of his movie, and he's kind of a badass in it. I super love it. So I don't know if I would have gone and seen it on my own, but since my oldest boy was like, Dad, can you take us? I'm like, you betcha, absolutely. The first time in his life he asked me to take him to a movie. I'm not going to tell him no, but we all had a fantastic time. Yeah, Godzilla Minus One, I heard it was good. I haven't seen it, but I really want to. It's another one of those. I'll check it out eventually here. Yo, what up, D-Man? I was just talking about how I got back from going to see the new King Kong Godzilla movie, and it was actually a pretty damn good time, and my kids absolutely loved it. They went ape shit, so to speak. So... Yeah, movies are not cheap. I mean, it was me and my kids and my roommate came along, and the whole thing with like tickets, and I kind of go all out when my kids come with me. I'm buying popcorn and drinks and shit. It was like $60 plus. Yo, Belenko, you're gonna get your ass just kicked right out of here, dude. Yeah, the the new Kong Godzilla movie. It's out this weekend. Just I think it started Thursday, maybe Friday. But it was good. I recommend it. I mean, it's kind of mindless fun with like the conveniences and the ridiculous destruction and the technology, but Adam Brooks, I am disappointed. I am bummed out. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of people, I just actually posted over on Facebook on a page where people are talking about it a lot. I'm just kind of surprised at how much people just seem to be just as like sharks in the water, just ready to fucking destroy a guy's life. Even though he destroyed it himself, I get that. I'm not dismantling or discounting that, but it's like people are just suddenly just so damn happy that he's done. Like they're like, oh God, he deserved this. He's such a piece of shit. And like, again, he dug his own hole, but I'm not rooting for anybody's demise. The whole situation just makes me sad. Just the whole thing sucks. But that being said, if anyone wants to subscribe to my channel, I talk comics. I ain't nearly as versed as those guys by a long shot, but I'm funny. Maybe. Courtney, I think we were talking about this maybe last time we were on, or I could be misremembering, but there was a comics channel where these a couple of working professionals, been talking about comics and built up quite the following over the last couple of years, and pretty popular. But then one of them, there's some accusations come out with screenshots of this guy, a 38-year-old guy, sending some inappropriate text to a 17-year-old girl a couple of years ago, and then she called him out, and now everyone's like, he's a pedophile, he's a monster. Yeah, he's stupid. He shouldn't be talking to underage girls and saying, I mean, he didn't technically do anything illegal, but it looks really, really, it looks really bad. And people are just jumping all over it, just ready to destroy him. And again, maybe he needs it. Maybe he needs a kick in the nuts and have his career. I mean, his career could be over. It's not okay. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just not happy that anybody has to go through anything without knowing the guy personally. Yeah, Courtney. Again, I want to emphasize. It's like I don't know the guy, and so I don't know that it actually happened the way that everyone's saying that it happens. I don't know the girl that made the accusations. I don't know anything about it, but it looks bad, and his career could be over. And he's a New York Times best-selling author and all that type of stuff, and and if he did what actually it looks like happened, he dug his own hole. It's his own fault. But I'm not happy that it happened. So, and some people, that's what I was just talking about over on a Facebook page. There's people just like, they're so fucking happy that he's done. They're like, just like, oh God, it's so great. I hope he has to get a job at McDonald's. I hope we never see him again. And I don't know. I'm just not happy that I don't take joy in it. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Eddie and this girl and God, they know what happened. And no one else knows for sure. The guy needs to come out and just like apologize and admit, but if he doesn't think he's actually guilty, then I can see him not wanting to admit guilt. Yeah, and it does suck. Again, if it's true, it really sucks that someone that I kind of liked the guy. I appreciate him. He's a ballsy, no nonsense kind of shit talker, and I kind of appreciated it. So it sucks when you find out someone that you kind of liked has potentially done something really messed up. And it's bad enough that his partner in crime that built the channel with him has basically disavowed him and said he's walking away. So that doesn't help anything. So yeah, you're definitely right about that. Someone saying it's like it doesn't matter. I don't care. Anybody can dress however they want, but it just grown men don't talk to underage girls like that. Talk to fucking grown women and then let adults make their own choices. But a 17-year-old kid, and again, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, so she's 21 now, but doesn't excuse anything. It's really creepy for when he was doing it. So tell me, D man, if he come out with an apology and said that he screwed up, he was in the wrong, and he should have never done it, and blah blah blah, and owned up to it, would you be willing to like kind of give him the opportunity to kind of rebuild himself, or do you think he's done? Like you're like fuck him, he's gone. I don't ever want to see him again. I might have to draw Godzilla next. Yeah, you're right about that, D man. I honestly don't know what's the best thing. Like I was saying before, if he fights it and like if he's legitimately feels like he's innocent, I think fighting it is fine. But then no, there are people are going to be just like, oh, it's just further proof for them that he creeped it out. And he's. But if he admits to defeat and admits that he did wrong, then yeah, he's labeled as a creep. But he could at least verbalize like he's trying to do better and maybe salvage something in the future. I don't know. But I feel like his partner over there, Jim Rugg, he did the only thing he could do, which was just like, yeah, I have to sever ties just to kind of save his own career and his own kind of sanity. I can't help but imagine what kind of conversations Jim and Ed have. Like, did they end up in a shouting match? Do they end up screaming at each other like, "Did you fucking do this?" And no, I didn't do this. Like, are you sure? Because it looks bad. And then you fucked our whole channel. You fucked our whole thing. Or it just, I don't know. It just makes me wonder what kind of conversation those two guys had. I wonder if we'll ever get to find out. Yeah, Courtney, I am so right there with you. I mean, it I was out of high school for like a year and I was like, I could not even imagine like hitting on a girl in high school because I'm like, they're in school. I'm 19, they're 18, but even still for me at that point it was too much. And then the more you get older, to me it's like the more these are just kids. Like who the fuck? I'm like, call me weird, but I'm attracted to grown ass women. I am a staunch heterosexual, and I know that I'm into girls. Anybody's watched my artwork, you know that I am. But I'm kind of more interested in actual women. Call me, is this weird controversial statement? And so if, if you're an older guy and an artist, or for an example, and some woman, some girl is chatting you up, like Chuck Gibson was telling me, he's like, you better talk to that girl like you're in church standing in front of her father and the pastor and God himself and keep your shit straight. And, it's like you can encourage creativity and promote art, but goddamn, keep the creeper conversations out of it. Like, where does that get fun? Yeah, I agree with you, Courtney, 100%. To put it crassly, I like them giggly bits. What the fuck? Courtney, you, I don't know, you don't have to answer this, but, you dress up as anime characters at comic conventions. Do you get guys being creepers to you? I imagine the answer to that has to be on some level. Probably yes, but, I was just kind of curious as, like, a gal like you that does cosplay, do you, have you had to deal with some shit like that at the conventions and stuff? Jiggly bits. I kind of figured, Gayton. I was like, I'm on board. I know what you're getting at. Holy shit, Courtney, that sucks. Oh, man. Courtney, if you're ever at the comic convention, God, I'm there with my friend Bobby, and we ride together. I was going to say, and then suddenly I'm like, this could sound creepy if I don't word this right, but I'm like, if you ever needed a ride somewhere, feel free to hit up me and Bobby, because again, we ride together, that hot redhead that sits with me. If you're ever in a place and you need a ride home, because I'm going to be there. Me and Bobby are there. So it's not just me and, it's another gal. But if you ever needed a ride, you hit us up. Yeah, I bet you have to deal with weirdos. I'm sure. There's weirdos all over the place. I don't know what else to do to this sketch. I might have to move on to Godzilla. Yeah, anytime, Courtney. Like I said, because again, it's me and Bobby. So there's another gal there. But just if it comes up, because you know I'm a storage space for all your trinkets now when you show up there, so you don't have to haul them around. It's good to make connections, right? Yeah, Courtney, that's gotta suck. I feel for you. Clock with the Glock. Yeah, but Courtney's like, what are you, Courtney? You're 25, right? 26? Maybe I should be shouting out your age, but I feel like you've mentioned it before on here, so. Well, I'm just drawing an image. I'm doing a reference from, I'm pretty sure this scene's from the current movie. So I'm just kind of following this. He's got scars on him, but not necessarily on his face. There's some wrinkles and shit. Yeah, see? Well, that's a 28-minute sketch right there. I'm going to see. Now, the ultimate test, we'll see. I'm going to see if my son wants it, my oldest boy, who just absolutely shit himself with how much fun he had at the Kong movie just this tonight. I'm going to ask him if he wants to have it and take it home. And he'll be like, no, that's fine. I'll be like, you son of a bitch. Stitched 56. You can't draw, but you won your last fight. You're a small-time boxer, but hope to make it to the BKFC. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I wish I could be both. Courtney, you're working on an Easter-themed pinup? That's awesome. I'm sure I'll get to see it on your page. Damn clock with the Glock. Let's see. But yeah, I recommend the new Kong movie, guys. Godzilla Kong. It's pretty damn entertaining. Some of the best like giant monster fights I've ever seen. Looking for some Godzilla reference. found a couple images. Guess we can give this a shot. Stitch 56, you say, well, see, that is where I tell people I am different. I am both. It's a sport, not a war. So I still love my opponents and show them respect in the ring. It's a hard thing to do and takes dedication. I respect that. That makes sense. It's awesome. I like that philosophy. Yeah, someone said, you know me. I bang these out fast. What the fuck? The Glock? Never drawn a giant lizard before, so this will be something. I'm so bad at drawing animals, and Godzilla's going to be no different. Zach asked me to draw Jesus. Maybe I am. I'm drawing him in lizard form. He returned to save us as Godzilla. D-Man, Liefeld has drawn Jesus. I did a review of one of his books, and he literally had Jesus strung up on a cross and had the Olympic gods like Zeus and shit come down and try to like help him get down off the cross, and then it turned into a Extreme Studios comics fight with Jesus fighting Zeus. I am not joking. Stitch 56, you say, I lost my eye a year ago in a fight, but my opponent was there with me in the hospital making sure I was okay post-fight. I was knocked out, and it was my first loss of my career. That's awesome. That's when I knew it was kindness that needs to dominate the ring, not anger. So now I always make sure my opponents are okay afterwards. That's awesome. Maybe you're right, someone's saying. Maybe I heard wrong. This damn Godzilla is proving difficult already. Are you serious, Courtney? Did you look it up? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, here's the thing. I guess I should edit. It wasn't Liefeld drawing it. It was Liefeld writing the story, and it's one of Liefeld's artist buddies that was drawing in his kind of house studio style, but it wasn't Liefeld himself drawing it. but it doesn't make it any less shit. Broke the tip. Any less ridiculous. Yeah, I'm drawing the current version because of the movie I just watched. Yeah, not the old school with the giant bug eyes. You know what I like is I read that they designed the new Godzilla, if I read this right, to look like it could conceivably be a human man inside a suit to kind of honor the old school Godzilla. And I kept looking at it that way watching the movie, and I totally could see that. Like, it looks like, there's enough space perfectly for like a person to be inside a big giant lizard suit. God damn it. The tip on my fucking pencil keeps breaking. It's the third time. Yeah, Extreme Studios. Well, unfortunately, Extreme Studios doesn't exist anymore. But can you imagine a Liefeld Godzilla? It would look like a fucking grasshopper with a bunch of pointy bits out of his back. Godzilla with pouches. Hell yeah. Oh my god. All right. After this, I might need to do a full body shot of Godzilla, but in Extreme Studios fashion. Gayton, man, you should try that. You draw monsters really well, man. That would be a funny thing for you to do too, man. That would be hilarious. Yeah, if it's anything like the horse he drew, yeah, Courtney knows. She's seen that god awful like horse that Deadpool was riding on in that book in my ever so famous drunken Deadpool review with my brother. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gayton, when you like, I mean, no pressure or anything like that, but I feel like you would pull that off so damn interesting. See, now your mind's running with it. There's so many possibilities. I'm telling you. Uh, Rodan would have on goggles, and Ghidorah would have headgear on all three of his heads. One cyber eye, mouth agape. See. There's a Liefeld Extreme Studios Godzilla drawing out there in all of us. This damn Godzilla is proving to be a lot harder than that damn Kong. Mothra would have a thin waist because she's a chick. You are right. I hope it's not a spoiler, but Mothra shows up in the new Godzilla movie, and my kids were fucking ecstatic. I'm like, how do you guys know Mothra? You've never watched one Godzilla movie in my presence. But I think they watched the King of the Monsters or whatever that one was, where Mothra was in it the last time. And it was so cute. I'm sitting next to my 9-year-old son, and he's like, It's Mothra. She's coming back to life. She's beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, my son is so precious. Oh, he's so just damn precious. Or like, I put my arm around him in the theater when he said that. I'm like, you are so goddamn cute, my son. Don't ever lose that. Meanwhile, he's also the one that was running around in Red Dead Redemption 2 with a armless, headless, legless corpse on the back of his horse. He's like, I had to kill him, Dad. Why are the cops after me? My little 9-year-old's going to be the sweetest little mass murderer. Yeah, they run into a monster. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you, D-Man. I mean, I know that you're going to it, but yeah, Kong ends up in a battle. Like, there's this big monster they have to fight, and freezing ice is involved, and his arm gets all screwed up. So they had to put like a giant Iron Man fucking gauntlet on it. And the way that they had it come up, they're like, oh, we were planning this from the start. It just happens to be right here. Oh, look, now he's got an Iron Man gauntlet on, and it can like charge up electricity and punch the shit out of Godzilla. I'm like, okay, sure. If I'm accepting giant lizard monsters and giant monkey monsters and a hollow earth, why can't there be a giant Iron Man gauntlet just sitting right there ready to go? It's fine. It's fine. All right, clock with the Glock. You go have a good time. Thanks, everybody. Music Man. I started out drawing Kong. That only took like 30 minutes, so now I'm moving on to Godzilla. And struggling a little bit more. It might be the image I chose, but a giant scaly lizard is kind of hard to get these textures. That's why, I mean, my version of you know, back step or step backwards like you do, you know, on a digital device is just draw really lightly. And when I have to back it out or something like that or correct it, I can just easily kind of fix it. But and like I said, I don't get crazy precious with it. I'm not like worried like, oh, it's not right, erase. It's not right, erase. I'm just keep going. I just keep working it. That's kind of a philosophy I've thrown out there to some people. Just don't give up. Just keep going. Just keep at it. You might end up with something better than you thought. You might end up with something not what you wanted, but maybe not bad anyway. Well, Courtney, your stuff looks fantastic. So if the end result looks good, and in your case it does, then it's time well spent. Courtney, when are you going to email me a sketch to ink, Missy? We've talked about that, and I really, really want to do that. Awesome. Do it. I mean, no pressure or anything, but you should totally do that. Because after my last live that I did, I spent a lot of time talking about and going over some old pages of art that I did, and I was talking about inking practice that I did. So I actually made a whole video coming up on the channel the next day or two. I filmed it today, just going over some inks I did where I was inking over some professional artists, some Rob Liefeld ink, some Joe Mattiera inks over his pencils, some Mike Mignola, and then some of my own stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in practicing some inking over your stuff. It would be really fun. Fax machine is random. No, I cannot. I will not. I could, but I won't. I appreciate the gesture. I appreciate the humor. I'm all about the funny dick humor. But Godzilla, my version of Godzilla right here, will not have a giant dong on his head. But maybe next time we'll call it Dongheadzilla. It's all right, D-Man. We don't have to hammer man too quickly. Fun being goofy is being goofy, and that's fine. I'm all about the goofy. I'm not all about the insulting. I went and saw the new Ghostbusters movie too. I went and saw that last weekend. That was, you know, it was fine. Another wasted opportunity. I didn't walk out of there hating it, but I'm certainly not in any rush to watch it again. I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that understands what needs to be in a good like remake of a movie where you're getting the original cast back. It doesn't seem like it's hard to figure out what to do to make it awesome. But man, these filmmakers are got their heads up their stupid asses. Yeah, I feel like that's part of it. They're not making because of the art, or very few. I feel like the guy who made Dune was all about like this is a passion project that he was into. But so many of the others are, you're 100% right. It's just a job. It's just a money making thing. Not concerned about making a good movie. I mean, obviously, it's a money making business. Like, you're not going to spend $80 million on to make Die Hard or whatever and not want a return on it. But there seemed to be a balance more often than not of creative integrity and financial responsibility to the people fronting you millions of dollars. Ray Love, am I drawing Godzilla? I certainly am. Nathan Judd, I would love to be put in charge, creative control of a cable movie. I will go full Rob Liefeld, and he'll be pouched up to the nines, and will be gritted teeth, and it will be ridiculous and awesome. No, you're right. Someone's saying, wait till they run out of material. The thing is, there's like 6 or 7 novels, and so that's 6 or 7 movies. So if we get 3 or 4 good ones out of it, I'll actually be happy. But you're right. They will get to a point where they could start just, screwing it up. It's one thing that I read, me and Jessica, a lot of you maybe heard me and Jessica talking about that new Shogun series. From what we understand, they're just doing like a 10-episode run. And once they're done, that's it. It's done. It's over. No matter how popular it is. They're not going to keep going, making up new shit with no original source material to rely on. And I respect that. I hope that they stick to that. Because something like that, it's one book, one novel. Just do that story and then be done and move on and walk away with some integrity. Rob Liefeld director. But yeah, so there's my Godzilla and my Kong. Let's see if I can get them sort of both on screen here. There's not enough space. X-Men 97, I've been enjoying it. It's the most enjoyable Marvel thing in a long time, so, there's that. So I'm trying to find the sketches that I did last night. Nathan was there. I drew a cable sketch. It's not very good. And as is usual, I was drawing hot girls. I kind of liked how this one came out. I feel like that one, and then that one. But yeah, I did a 3-hour live stream. Was it last night? It was last night, right? But one of these days, I'm going to print up all these live stream sketches into like a book and offer it for sale, and not be surprised when I don't sell one of them. Yeah, where did my pencil go? We've actually talked about that. It's kind of hard to get a gauge on him, kind of what he wants, and I don't want to, make him feel awkward or anything like that. He's kind of a private guy, but then he'll get on here and be extremely entertaining and fun, and I don't know. I don't want to ask something weird of him, but I think he'd be interested, I think. So we kind of had that conversation come up. Because I would love to chat him up and get some stories that he knows on the record, the Kayfabe channel. They'd interview all those artists and stuff like that, like someone who was actually there. To me, that's extremely interesting. And I got on the hook one guy. For a minute, I thought I was going to get to talk with what's his name, Jordan Raskin, but I think he got pissed at me because he stopped talking to me. Jemima Decker, it looks like your life. Are you trying to say it looks like my wife, Godzilla? Because you're right. That actually crossed my mind, even as like a joke. I had this theory, D-Man, of getting my brother on and do like a stream and like copy their dialogue and their cadence and their way of speaking, like almost word for word, just as a gag. But my brother doesn't watch him, so he wouldn't know what to do. But I was kind of going over that just as a gag to just do like a riff on him. But I do want my damn brother to get over here because I have a lot of fun when we record videos together. We always seem to bounce off each other pretty well and have a good time, and people seem to enjoy it. He just wishes he was as successful as I am with YouTube. But he'll get there, maybe. Could someone verify for me, D-Man or Gayton, on your end, seeing? I just want to know if the ability, like the symbol on the screen to donate, like live chat, is that on there? Is that running? Is that a capable? Because one time it got turned off and I had no idea, and I just got thinking about it. I need somebody who can look at it from the other end. I just like to know that it's on, just in case. Bruh says, what, bruh? I got a monkey. I drew a monkey. Or would you prefer? All right, D-Man, thank you. Thank you for the validation. I just wanted to be sure. Okay, great. Thanks. Someone's saying appreciate it. I mean, there should be like little $ symbol in the corner, right? Yeah, anybody wants to super chat, please. Yeah, to the guy you don't know who draws monkeys on lives. Like, if you want to support the channel, I mean, I've always kind of toyed with the idea of like, if somebody wanted one of these sketches, they could, you know, if somebody wanted a super chat, I'm not like asking for it, but I like the idea of like, I wonder if anybody would want one of these. But like, I'm nobody. No one wants my shit, or at least to pay for it. But I don't know. I don't feel comfortable asking for anything. So I have a hard time being like, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to help, join a Patreon, which I don't have. I haven't started. But I don't know. It's one of those weird situations. God, I did these drawings so fast. I'm like, now I need something else to draw. Oh, yeah. I'll take suggestions. I should be inking some of my comic pages, but F word. Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? 2,000 super chat? Yeah. If he sends me $2,000, I'll be his little bitch. Like, what do you want, sir? Ray Vasquez. I did Cable last night. I did him right in his pooper. I did this sketch. Courtney suggests draw a sexy bunny girl. Like a girl that's actually a bunny. Like with bunny features. That would be, or just like a girl with like bunny ears on, like she's dressed up for Halloween, like in Mean Girls. Like it's totally an excuse to dress up like a total slut. No one cares. A girl in a bunny. It is Easter. All right, that's fair. God damn! It's the fourth time my stupid pencil is broken tonight. What the hell? I just suck. All right, Courtney. You're the first one. Oh shit! You're the first one to offer up a thought, so that I didn't hate. So let me see what I can come up with. Yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of broke, D-man. It's the economy's rough, and I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. Sorry, I'm trying to look up some reference here. Slop Sauce says, "What's happening? Well, I've been drawing. Whoops. I drew this. I guess I should put something interesting on screen while I'm looking around. Courtney, do you have my correct email address? The ROBNOR 101? What, the Roger and Jessica Rabbit? Someone's saying? Are you wondering if people wouldn't get that reference? They damn well better. Huggy says, "Draw you." I did. You're right there. You could text them to me. I assume that would work. All right, I gotta go back. I don't see a response, someone's saying. I see Slop Sauce asking what's happening, and then the next response from you is if no one gets that reference. All right, Sexy Bunny Girl. As requested or suggested by Courtney. Okay, Courtney, I see it. It came through. Awesome. Bunny ears. There we go. Fisselfee says finally some actual skill on a YouTube live. Well, thank you. I appreciate the legit sounding compliment. I appreciate that. I don't know if you got to see, but some of the stuff I was doodling earlier, I just drew the Godzilla here. I drew the Kong. And then last night I did that one there. And then I did that one there last night. And I did this half-assed cable right there. I should review Rob Liefeld's Major X. Yeah, I don't have it. It's one of those things. That stupid new character with the stupid new helmet that was, I don't know, I can't remember. That's one I never picked up because it looked so offensively stupid. But in terms of content for the channel, I might need to go find it. I want that new Last Blood bullshit book that he did. I've seen the interiors because somebody else on YouTube did a review of it page by page, and they were just gushing about how amazing it was. And it's like the worst thing Liefeld's ever done. But of course, he thinks it's the best thing he's ever done. But he thinks everything he does currently is the best thing he's ever done. Well, thanks, Courtney. I appreciate that. Linkara did a Youngblood Strike Force review the other day. He's still going. He's still doing stuff. I kind of thought he'd stopped reviewing stuff, or maybe he's just not as frequent. I don't know. I found his videos kind of annoying, D-Man, and that's maybe rich coming from me because I've had plenty of people tell me my shit's annoying. Kind of a little powder puff tail like Bugs Bunny because she's dressed like a rabbit. I'm gonna have to tell Jessica she can't go out of town with her family anymore. I miss having her on these things. It feels like there's a component missing. And it's the charming presence of my bud. Ray Vasquez, what are your thoughts if Jim Lee were return to the X-Men? I would be first in line to pick that shit up. I would be so happy to see him come back. Now, whether it would be actually any good, I don't know. Who knows? but I would be first in line. It'd be like, that'd be one of those like dream projects that we all kind of hope for, or at least in my head. Dream projects for me. What is a dream project out there that could still conceivably happen because the artists out there are still alive? Todd McFarlane drawing a Spawn Spider-Man crossover. Like, he draws it, not hands it off to anybody else. I don't care how good Greg Capullo is. I want McFarlane to do the Spawn Batman crossover. I would love that. J. Scott Campbell returning to do another Danger Girl run, or Joe Mad doing another Battle Chasers run, not handing it off to that other guy who's good, but it's not Joe Mad. Who else? I would be ecstatic to see Jim Lee return to X-Men. Mark Riddell, Yabba Dabba Doom. Yeah, that's a bad rock story, right? A bad rock phrase, right? Another dream project for Liefeld were for him just to stop drawing, but you know, you say Jim Lee's making a lot of money being at DC, but I mean, aren't they just tanking in like every way? Like, their comics aren't doing well, I don't think. The movies aren't doing well. It's like the Warner Brothers studios just, I feel like it's just keeping them alive. There's even been conversations about DC getting sold. Ed McGuinness back on the Hulk, that'd be interesting. He used to draw really big, thick, muscular characters, and I feel like he's drifted away from that. I'd kind of like to see him go back to that. I remember picking up some comic that I couldn't figure out who the artist was, and I'm like, holy shit, this is Ed McGuinness. It doesn't look like him at all. Yeah, I heard Madam Web is like just the worst. Ms. Courtney, yeah. And whenever it shows up to stream for free, I might try and watch it just to see how god-awful terrible it is. But I ain't paying, like, specific money to go see it in a theater, because no one did. It was another bomb in a string of bombs from Marvel, which is another dying brand. Yeah, DC screwed over Jeff Johns. They take nothing but the L's. Yeah. And Courtney, you say you saw videos of people just laughing at all the serious parts of the movie. Seriously, that's what I've heard. Like, everyone's just like, this is so stupid. Like, how hard is it to make a good movie? But the director they put in charge has, like, zero experience with anything. Like, why do you put this person in charge? Now, I know why, because it ticked a lot of, like, current, like, socially acceptable boxes. But, like, guess what? You put idiots in charge of movies who don't know what they're doing, but just because you're trying to satisfy, like, a political agenda, you get crap. Just put someone good. Just hire somebody who's good. Or otherwise you end up with a bunch of bombs. Marvel. Oh, yeah. Mark, you say Deadpool will save the MC universe. I mean, that one, okay. I bet you Deadpool 3 will do well, but it's not saving nothing. It's just one good one in a sea of crappy ones. Like, DC had a hit with Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman came out, and that, I thought the first Wonder Woman movie was fantastic. I legitimately like that movie. But it didn't save shit. Like, it did, like, okay, see, they can do a good movie, but then they kept going back to making crap that no one cared about. So Deadpool can come out, and I bet you it will do big numbers because it's Deadpool, it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. But everything else that Marvel is making is shit. They're flat out, like, from what I've read, they've reshot almost the entire new Captain America movie. From what they were saying, like, practically reshot the whole thing beginning to end because they just were like, this sucks. And we can't afford another bad one. So, you know. Yeah, I know. Careful with that word, Rob Gayton says. That's the one that erased my message, I think. See, I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool, but I find those movies legitimately funny. So, and to see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine again, you know, Ray, you were saying Superman by James Gunn. And like I was just looking at the confirmed cast. There are so goddamn many characters. Like you got Superman, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, all the regular like the editor in chief guy. I forget his name. And then they got all these other superheroes. They're just putting so many characters in it. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I want a good Superman movie so much. I love Superman. I really do. But I am not. I mean, I like James Gunn. He's earned a lot of cred for me with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't think it's gonna work. But I would love to be proven wrong. And yeah, Mark, that's exactly Falcon as Cap. He's a great side character. He's a great backup character. He's a great actor. I like him. But suddenly you want to push him as the lead. It's like what they did in the last Black Panther movie. Now, what do you do when the actor dies? That super super sucks. But you either recast him or you kill off the character and put his like skinny little sister as the main lead, who is a fine backup character because she's so tiny. She makes this pencil look like it's morbidly obese. And I just don't buy her punching the shit out of Namor. And they tried their best, I think, with that last Black Panther movie, but I'm just like I don't give a shit. I love the first one. I love the actor, Chadwick. Rest in peace. But once you lose your main star, so it's kind of that same thing with Captain America, like you're saying. I don't give a shit. And I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier sucked. The best part of that movie was John Walker, Captain America. And, but yeah, I hated that. You got to do better, Senator. That whole shit. So stupid. I hated that show. So I ain't interested in the next Captain America movie. The Batman Arkham edits DC Comics. Hello, bro. Well, what is going on with you? You see, like, yeah, Mark, I like James Gunn. I think his Guardians movies were good, but I don't know. He took on DC at the worst time, and they're hoping he'll save it. That he'll do what's his name, Man of Steel director, Zack Snyder. They want him to do what Snyder could not, and superhero movies are like no one's interested anymore. It's just been too much. I know I'm kind of burned out on them. I'm like, oh God, thank God for a good hard sci-fi movie like Dune or a good monster movie like Godzilla. Like, thank you. Princess Kennedy says, "What are you like going for on the girl?" It was suggested I do a sexy girl in a bunny costume. And in case you're wondering, it was the girl who suggested it. So it's not just me drawing girls for the sake of it, which, don't get me wrong, I will do. Kind of got her head too big here. Proportions are all fucked up. Yeah, Courtney, I kind of agree. Don't get me wrong, I love comics and I love superhero movies when they were good, but Endgame kind of fizzled it out. Like it ended on a big note and we all needed a break. And they're like, no, keep going. Make Captain Marvel 2. People want to see that. No, they didn't. Make Ant-Man 3. People want to see that. No, they didn't. Make Madam Web. 4 people on the planet want to see it. And they actually like got their money back for their tickets. No, didn't work. Yeah, Courtney. They D-Man saying Courtney. They have people who don't know shit about being a hero making these movies. Yeah, yeah. Mark. Endgame. Our leads are gone. Cap, Iron Man, Black Widow. Now what? Sharpshooter GT. Are you an animator or are you just a drawer? I just draw. I like to draw comics. I'm a comic artist. Not professional, but I am still a comic artist. But I'm not an animator. Ray, what do I think of Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? They did him justice in the first Avengers movie. I've liked him in all the movies, honestly, but he was most accurate in that first Avengers movie. Joss Whedon got it right. He nailed it somehow. All the things, all the way across the board. I can still I can watch all those first wave of Marvel movies, but that first Avengers movie will always bring a smile to my face. It had no right to be as fun as it was, and it was fantastic, and I love it unabashedly. You're right, Gaten. They went from telling good stories to jamming them full of quips and messages. Right. Courtney, I love you. You're so great. I like that you could see that. Like, you're a girl who's kind of, like you're saying there, that even you as a girl are kind of sick of like the girl boss trope. Like, I am all for, like, make a movie about a female superhero, please. Great, but she doesn't have to be amazing at everything from the first get go, and they don't have to put down men to show how good they are. And it's okay to let your character have flaws and learn and grow. Like, I know everyone brings up like James Cameron and like Sarah Connor, because everyone does whenever we want to talk about strong female characters, but I mean, Sarah Connor was super muscular. She's a badass with weapons, and she doesn't take shit from anybody. But she's also a terrible mother. She's a probably psychotic. She's a drinker and a smoker, and she almost killed an innocent man. But she had a redemption arc. Like, perfect. Thank you. There is a story arc. There is a strong woman character that I am 100% on board for. So can they just write a character with some human flaws and not make it their goal to put down men to build themselves up? Yeah, right there, Gaten. They need to watch Aliens. Sigourney Weaver, great. Ripley, Terminator 2, The Abyss, all great characters. Yeah, there you go, Courtney. See, that's why you're fantastic, because like I like to see that you see it. And Jessica's the same way. She's talked about it. She's like, she wants to support women in movies and action roles and everything. Of course, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't. But just write real human stories. Don't just write the girl boss trope that is like, we're awesome from the get go, and men are stupid and we don't need them. And I'm awesome, and then the only character arc I have is realizing just how much awesome I am and how good awesome I've always been. Like, have somebody grow. Have them start out terrible and get good. Have them earn it. Flaws make characters interesting. Exactly, Courtney. Exactly. D-Man, that girl's got more ass than Brie Larson. Well, yeah. Mark Riddell, you say you liked Wonder Woman 1 for Gal. Not a great actress, but she had movie star screen presence, and she had beauty and grace and did a fish out of water well. I think she's kind of a fine actress, honestly. But I agree with all your points, Mark. I feel like she has great screen presence, and she's so beautiful. But grace and the fish out of water story, yes, I agree. It really made it work. And she was wrong about everything she was doing. She had to get out and realize that the world sucks. Princess Candy says, but it is just weird that there isn't a lot of women, but there are just all men, like Spider-Man, Batman. Batman is so stupid. Well, Princess Kennedy, you have to understand something, is that these are comic characters, and most of them were created mostly in the 60s. And they were comics written by men for boys. And so it's going to be a lot of male characters because back in the day, they're making these characters for boys. Um, Now, there's honestly a ton of women superheroes, but the big named ones that are the most financially viable are the main characters: Captain America, Spider Man, Batman, blah, 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 blah. There's tons of female superheroes, but yeah, it's mostly a male dominated thing. But that's that doesn't mean that like there's something wrong. There's plenty of female characters to draw on. They just need to write them well. Give them the love and attention that they deserve, not just like modern politics dictates we make girls awesome and men stupid. Okay, and you say for me, it's not even about them being amazing at what they do, even right off the bat. It's about them telling us why we have to accept it. We aren't stupid, as some would like to believe. And there you go. Mark, you say Brie is very pretty, in my opinion. I actually think so. I did watch that last Captain Marvel movie, and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And Brie Larson's a pretty attractive girl. Sharpshooter says, do you play video games? Because Laura Croft, honestly, is a very good person in Laura Croft Definitive Edition. She develops a very good, let's say, hero arc. I don't play video games like that, no. But Laura Croft seems like a character, like just write her well. But the Angelina Jolie movies just was kind of, they were fine, but once again, she was just so great at everything. Someone saying Princess Kennedy, yeah, they do need more female roles, but they don't need to come with a high dose of saying men stink. That's the thing. Yep, Courtney, you say female roles are great, but they need to be well written and interesting, not just girl bosses. Perfect. Yeah, it's so simple. I do kind of see that, Mark. Sometimes a character belongs where it belongs. Laura is a video game character. Um, I mean, I think I get your point, Mark, but sometimes I think like it's fertile ground with a ton of options to write a good character in, um, and a built-in audience. Just somebody sit down and craft a good story. It shouldn't have to be that hard. Right, Courtney? They need to hire actual good writers instead of shitty people who probably had daddy's money to get their positions. You're right. There are a lot of people with amazing ideas, but they never get a chance. I think also part of the problem of the idiots in charge are that they're fronting so much money. These superhero movies have been so expensive. Like they want a guaranteed return on their investment. They can't afford to lose this money. So then they're like, we're going to play it safe. We're going to play these tropes. We're going to play what we think the common person wants to see. But those people in Hollywood are so fucking stupid. They don't know what the audience wants to see. And so they make the worst possible decisions in the last several years. And now all this money is just being pissed away for nothing. And so they're shooting themselves in the foot. Will I be inking this drawing? I mean, probably not on this stream. No, honestly, I'm probably not. I'm not going to ink this one. I'd rather ink one of the others than this one. It's, it's not a great drawing. It's just kind of okay. Yeah, Mark, you say go read up on the mess Alien 3 was. Man, I was so fucking mad at Aliens 3. I hate that show. Because they just screwed up everything that happened in the second Aliens movie. So it's like, why am I even watching this? Within the first 10 minutes, they kill off Bishop Newton Hicks. Like, they went through hell to survive, and they're like, oh, they're dead. It's like, well, fuck you then. I guess I'm out. But I paid to see it, so. Someone explain to me what this GYAT thing is that people show up and say GYAT. What is that? What is this stupid thing? You're right, Mark. If we related to Hollywood or they related to us, we would relate to murderers and rapists. Yeah, for real. I don't know. Hollywood needs to kind of burn to the ground and have something else take over where some creativity can be put in there. You're right, Wiley. You are right. Those are the only good ones. All right, someone's saying I gotcha. Oh, it's so dumb. I don't understand these kids these days. You know what, Mark? Superman 1 and 2, right, the good ones. But there's a lot of stuff about Superman 3 that I do like. It's objectively not nearly as good as the first ones, but there's stuff in part 3 that at least make it watchable in places. Christopher Reeve playing like mentally destroyed, drunk, angry douchebag Superman, really good. And that fight between Superman and himself, between like Clark and Superman in the junkyard, that was really good. Yeah, I'm not super holding my breath for the next Superman movie. I want James Gunn to prove me wrong. I want it to be amazing, but I don't think it will be. Yeah, Mark, that's been my thing. That's my major problem with the Zack Snyder Man of Steel. Is like Superman is supposed to be the best good guy ever, and they have like his own father being like, Clark's like, what was I supposed to do? Let the kid die? And Jonathan Kent was like, I don't know, maybe. I just, I feel like they got it so wrong. And I love the actor. What's his name? Henry Cavill playing Superman. He was a great Superman, but he kept getting handed shit scripts. Yeah, you ask the impossible. Recommended review: Sins Past Spider-Man. I don't think I've even heard of that. What is that? I mean, besides a comic book, I'm guessing. It doesn't even sound familiar. Oh, I've read that. Holy shit. Yeah, where Gwen Stacy had an affair with Norman Osborn. Did she have some like weird clone babies bullshit? It was so stupid. Holy crap. They literally dug up the corpse of Gwen Stacy and violated her. I did read that. I was really pissed off at how stupid it was. It's like it's the most unnecessary story in the history of comics. Oh man, now you got me pissed off. And so I need to get it out. I'm going to rage fuck that comic on my channel. I do have them somewhere. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I'm like, this can't be true. It's kind of like you'd think they would have learned after the Clone Saga, if anybody here was reading those books back in the day. Like the Spider-Man you've been following for years is a clone, and the real one is this other guy you haven't seen. So you've been following the wrong character for years. And man, was a fallout on that epic. And that same thing with that stupid screwing up Gwen Stacy's character. Yeah, man. Who wrote that story? It wasn't Straczynski, was it? Because he did stuff that some people thought was questionable on Spider-Man, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought Straczynski's run was actually pretty damn entertaining. Pork Hunt, you asking, am I picking up Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man? I haven't because one, I didn't even know it was happening. That's my problem, is I don't know that comics are happening anymore. I find out some things are like coming out or been out, and I'm like, when did this happen? I did watch a person review the first issue of that on YouTube, and I gotta say, the premise and the execution of that actually looked interesting. I was actually kind of like, huh. That I thought it looked interesting, so I might have to check it out. So Sins Past was Straczynski? God damn it. Because I did review the One Last Day, and I said, I thought it was a really well written story, and I thought they touched on all kinds of interesting shit. I didn't hate it like everyone else did. I completely disagreed with the ultimate end result of that story, that being, dissolving Peter and Mary Jane's marriage and kind of hitting the reset button. I get the reasons why they said they did it, but I don't agree with it. But I thought it was actually really well written and incredibly well drawn by Joe Quesada. But I didn't know that Straczynski wrote that god-awful story. Thanks for joining, Courtney. You're fantastic. You're one of our favorites. It's always a pleasure when you're here. See, Pork Hunt, I liked this story. I liked that Mephisto showed up. I liked that Peter was like searching for some way to save his aunt, and he was basically telling the devil, I'll sell my soul to do this. And so Mephisto shows up and he's like, all right, are you serious? I got you. I liked the story. I thought it read really well, and it forced them to ask hard questions about isn't Aunt May, isn't her time up? Maybe we should just let her go. I don't agree with the ultimate outcome of it, but that's me. Well, Porkhunt, he did go to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange wouldn't help him because he's saying this is natural. This is a natural kind of point in her life. I can't just magically save her. Now, you could say that the writers could have just had Doctor Strange do it, but I mean, it needed to be someone evil, because Mephisto's like, your soul will be screaming in pain for all eternity, and I want that. So I get it. It's just kind of a difference of like what likes and dislikes, but I enjoyed it. I was mad. I was collecting Spider-Man for a couple years at that point, and I immediately was done. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not collecting Spider-Man anymore. I don't care. You just hit the reset button. I don't want to start over. So I'm done. Thanks. Elikana says, draw a picture of Jesus, please. Okay, I did. I drew one earlier. Right there. It's a little blasphemous, I know. And I agree, whoever was saying just a minute ago that the Mary Jane character is so ingrained with Spider-Man that anyone else is going to feel, like just no matter what they do, it's going to be temporary. Peter will always be back with Mary Jane. And I'm kind of fine with that. To me, it's kind of the same with like X-Men, like Scott Summers, Jean Grey. Those two should always be together. They always will be together. Yeah, Superman and Clark, Clark and Lois. Um, it's like Wolverine will never have a true love because all his true loves are dead. You got Silver Fox killed, and Marco. I don't know, is she even alive? Last time I know, she was dead. Mark. Jean Grey is always emotionally cheating with Wolverine. I mean, as long as she's not sucking him off. Which, I'll draw that comic. You know what, D-Man? I like Miles Morales. I feel like there's room for both of them. I feel like that's one character that I'm completely fine with. I don't have any problem, but I don't need to kill off Peter Parker. Clue says, people can't appreciate short kings like Wolvie. Mark Riddell, Scott kissing White Queen over Jean's grave is always a wild moment. Yeah, you got a point there. Poor cunt. If I drew that comic, you'd have to draw Jean coughing up fur balls. Mark Domowitz, you got the Essential Wolverine 1, 2, and 3. Those are the black and white books, right? I got mine sitting right here. I think. Yeah, you got this one, Mark. Wolverine Essentials, Volume 2. All the Silvestri stuff in that is so good. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I agree with you. Someone saying he's just another Spider-Man. Though I am getting sick of the dilution of the Spider-Man concept with all these variants, especially that the animated movie's doing. Like the movies are good, but good lord, it's like Peter Parker's not unique or special anymore because there's a quadrillion of them everywhere. And that's the one thing I kind of don't like about the multiverse concept. Yeah, I thought the multiverse was kind of an interesting idea for a minute, but I definitely got sick of it because it's been so mishandled. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, D man. It's getting old. Poor cunt. Here's a story, Marvel. Mephisto created the multiverse to escape God's judgment because people making the right choice no longer matters because they made the evil choice in another reality. That's interesting. I feel like that would work, pork. Mark Domowitz asking me if I read V for Vendetta. I did once. My an old roommate I had years ago had it, and I did read it, and I found it. I was a little bit too young to kind of appreciate it. I mean, I was in my very early 20s or something, and I liked it, but I've never gone back to read it. But I've certainly read up on a lot of what it's talking about, and I kind of want to revisit it. But it's been a long time, 2 decades at least. Forecast Windy says joining this stream without consent is a whole jump scare. Is it? Recommend some comics to Mr. Glue there for his friend who wants to read comics but not necessarily superhero comics. I know it's a controversial name, but go read some Warren Ellis superhero shit. Stormwatch, The Authority, Planetary. I think all that stuff is so damn good. I don't have a copy of it. I'll have to find a copy of it, Mark. I definitely feel like the social commentary on it is profound with the government control over everything and freedoms being curtailed and the population just allowing it to happen. It's almost like it's happened in real life a bunch of times and it's kind of happening right in front of our faces right now. Poor cunt. Is anyone wondering if Liefeld's decision to suddenly retire is because he's developing the same disabling condition his father did? Where did Liefeld talk about retiring? I think he talked about he's not doing any more Marvel work or any more Deadpool work, but that guy never stops. He's going to draw until the day he dies. I don't think he said he's retiring from comics unless something happened today. I am almost 100% certain I would have caught that bit of news. But he said he was done with like Deadpool, like he's retiring the character from himself. And I think it's because he's butthurt that the directors and writers of the new Deadpool movie didn't ask for his input or his guest starring in it. And he's being a little fucking pansy about it. Yeah, see, Pork, I don't know if that's correct. I'm not saying you're wrong. I can't say that for 100% certain, but I don't think Liefeld, like he's just pushing all the shit, the new stuff he's doing. That Last Blood, he's doing more comics on that. He's always got something he's doing. He'll never stop drawing until he absolutely physically cannot. I just think he's done with Deadpool and Marvel. And again, feel free to correct me if anyone can go, search that out and check it out. But Mark Riddell, isn't that the Silvestri issues? I reviewed those. Um, Grant Morrison written. It's where Scott Summers, because Jean, of course, died because that's what Jean Grey does. But then I kind of didn't mind the Emma Frost, Jean Grey, or Emma Frost, Scott Summers kind of connection. I actually thought it kind of worked. Again, it was never going to last because everything goes back to status quo. These corporate characters always go back to, you know, station zero. Like here's where they have to be. This is why like characters never grow or age. Mark, you don't get why the White Queen is considered good now? I mean, they had stories, I think mainly in the Grant Morrison run where, you know, just kind of had a change of heart and horrible things happened to her, and the X-Men being good people took her in, and I was kind of fine with it, but I get it. Sometimes it's like, oh, now this bad guy is now a good guy. Like Magneto, you know, he's kind of a benevolent character in a lot of ways anymore. And I guess it's fine. I had a thought about corporate characters. I think I've brought this up on live streams before. But like, for example, I'm curious if anybody would find this interesting the way I would, or find the crazy one here. I You remember how we all used to love The Simpsons back in the day? The first five, six, 7 seasons are just like magical. Whenever I talk to anybody and we always kind of go over the best episodes, it's always those. And then it's just been on forever and ever and ever. And does anybody care anymore? I had a thought of something to do something ballsy. Do one last season of The Simpsons, for example, and advance the timeline 10 years. So Bart Simpson, he's supposed to be 10, right? Have him be 20 years old. Have him failed high school, have him failed college, have him working construction. Lisa is supposed to be 8, right? So she's 18. So now she's in her senior year in high school. And Maggie's just a baby. So now she's 10 years old. She's Bart Simpson's age. I think that there's a lot of possibility to take those characters and do something different with them, and just go balls out, Fox Studios and Simpsons. That's just an example of something I've thought about, of do something different with these characters rather than have Bart Simpson be 10 years old for the last 3 decades. I don't know. I know it's kind of a little bit of a subject change, but we're talking about, characters that never grow or change or always go back to, the status quo. And someone saying, I think you're right. They probably did do an episode that, but I'm talking an entire season, like 24 episodes, just that, not just one episode, then reset. Have Homer. What is Homer supposed to be? 40? Have him be 50. Have him approach retirement. Have him be older and not understanding the modern world even more. I don't know. I might be crazy and be the only one who thinks that there's some interest in that, but that would get me to lock on to Simpsons again, for example. Yeah, I'm talking about more than just an episode. Simpsons did it, I know. But like a whole season, do something different. I want to see 24 episodes of Bart as a 20-year-old. thinking about reflecting on his days as a disrespectful little shit 10-year-old. You think Al from Married with Children, older, ripping today's woke world apart would be excellent? Yes, that would be funny. Bring back Married with Children and have Al just like absolutely flabbergasted with the modern world. And then you could have Peggy sitting next to him, still going, Al, let's have sex. And he's like, no, Peg. And then he flushes a toilet. The 90s show tried to do that. Is that like they tried to do that 70s show, but then they tried to do that 90s show and they failed like completely? That 70s show, I love that, especially the first few seasons. It's some of the funniest, greatest shit, even to this day. It's so good. It's just like a magical cast of. Oh, we'll talk about it. I don't care what Hyde did. He's a piece of shit, but it doesn't affect the show for me. Um, yeah. Danny Masterson ended up being a rapist, and I don't care. I mean, I do care. I'm not saying it's all right, but I don't care. I'm still gonna watch and enjoy the show. I'm not one to be like, nope, never watching it again. Like all these people are like, I can't believe I bought Ed Piskor's Red Room. I'm gonna burn it. Like, all right, you fucking pansies. Um, I think that 70s show is great, and I will forever find it infinitely rewatchable. Yeah, and the character didn't do bad. The actor, exactly. That's my point. You know, if we were to like actively not watch or listen to or read or look at work from people who are slime balls, we might not have anything to look at. Right? Yeah. Michael Jackson song comes on. You know what? I got to be honest with the Michael Jackson thing. I'm gonna pull a Dave Chappelle. I don't believe it. I don't know that I believe that shit. I don't want to believe it, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't buy it. Totally plausible, but yeah, bring back Arky Bunker. Yeah, you believe he was a very strange man and leave it at that. 100%. But how can anybody grow up in the life and the world that Michael Jackson did and not grow up all fucked up? Like from the time he was like a little kid, spotlight, pressure, music, money, fame. You don't grow up normal. And Pork, if you're talking about Michael Jackson there, he spent years investigated by the FBI and they got nothing. If he did something, they would have pinned him on something. I mean, I can't, like, I mean, right? He's just so weird that it makes it easy to look at him and go, that guy, he did it. He did something. D-Man, you say the character of Hyde would probably go to prison anyway, like Uncle Joey from Back to the Future. You're probably right. Isn't that what they said happened in the that 70s show remake or redo where they brought all the cast back and like Hyde's not around because he's probably in prison? I read the first several issues of Red Room, and I honestly thought it was really well made. It was just subject matter that was. I'm just not into the Tales from the Crypt kind of horror torture shit. Um, I honestly thought it was well done. I thought the dialogue was well written, and I don't know. I feel like Ed Piskor wrote a good book, and he was intentionally trying to make something to piss people off, and I respect that. I do. I just ultimately I kind of stopped picking it up. I got the first full season of it, whatever, and then halfway through number two, and I stopped. I was just trying to support a guy that I kind of liked, but ultimately I was like, yeah, I don't like this work, so had to stop. Not because he was a creeper, which happened anyway. Is Bryan Singer still working? It sucks because I thought he could make some good movies, but turns out he was a fucking jagoff too. What are they actually about? So, I mean, you've probably heard Ed Piskor talk about like his tagline for it: "Murder on the dark web for fun and profit," which is exactly what it is. But it's basically there's like a secret society of people that would capture some other people, homeless people, or just breed mindless people in basements so they could have these other characters get in these outfits that hide their identity and rip them to shreds in like gorefest fashion on a website that was very secret. It's the dark web, and people could watch and pay money to like kind of like cam girls, like they get on, you can pay them money to like stick things in their ass. They would pay money to be like rip his head off, or like, cut his nose off, or rip his skin off, something like that. And that was the. And then it was about some of the characters trying to like how do they live in that world. I don't know. That was the basic premise of it. So it was all torture porn and the kind of a good reason to draw some really gory, Tales from the Crypt type horror gore, which Ed Piskor did really well. But and then trying to keep it a secret from the feds and stuff like that. That's kind of how the whole thing kind of played out. And like you said, each issue was its own contained story, which I respect the idea. He's not like you have to pick up the previous issue to understand what's going on. You could pick up one and get a full story. Glue, you think Bohemian Rhapsody was post allegations and that was a huge movie? I think, Bohemian Rhapsody was really good. But from what I understand, he was being an absolute twat on set on that movie, and someone else had to finish up directing on it. But he definitely, it was good because of his direction. It was a really good movie, and I knew nothing about Queen before that. Honestly, I would have been like, "What songs does Queen sing?" I have no idea, but now I know. Someone saying so it's like those Hostile movies, but I mean, kind of, but he integrated had in it like the whole like computer element where they're like their entire panels where it was like a computer monitor screen, and like you're watching a video on YouTube and all the buttons to push and a button to donate and chats like you see it on here. When you're reading the chats, you could see people talking back and forth, and the dialogue of the random people joining the chats and talking about the stuff, I think was really well done. It felt like real dialogue. So it was well researched and well written. He did a good job, I think. And of course, once I watched the movie, it's going back to Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I of course I knew a lot of these songs, but it gave me a greater appreciation for them and the and Freddie Mercury himself. I knew nothing about the guy. I just knew he existed. I had no idea. Um, and that actor that played him, holy shit, did he earn that role? Like he went for it, and yeah, really good. There you go, pork hunt. Red Room is like Nicolas Cage's 3 millimeter on with steroids. That's a fair assessment. I like that. And you know what? It was selling like a motherfucker. He was making him money. He made successful comics. I just wonder if his head got too far up his ass with his own legend, thinking he was untouchable because he's stupid. I tried watching that Elton John biopic and I didn't particularly care for it. I wanted to. I like movies about musicians. Honestly, I want to see a really good Michael Jackson like movie, like showing us like some actor playing the part as a kid and that all that stuff, and then show him writing these songs, writing Billie Jean and Thriller and all that shit, and dancing and growing into a big star and his face melting off and he becoming a weird ghoulish like creature. I would love to see a Michael Jackson movie. I want to see a Beatles movie, like a one that just shows as realistically as they could the real story of the Beatles, for example. I'd love to see one about Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith. You know, fuck it. I like them a lot. I'd love to see, you know, a biopic on Aerosmith because I think they're great. La Bamba, that's one I love. Perfect example. I'm sorry, I've never actually seen Purple Rain. Um, Nicolas Cage's peak was Raising Arizona, and that will be it. That's the best movie he's ever done. And he'll never be better than that, even if he's having a renaissance now. Marcus Romero, I remember you. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, someone saying he's an unfortunate product for the current issues he's having, though. You're not wrong, Gayton. Having made Red Room and then the allegations coming up for him, yeah, it looks bad. Just looks bad. But yeah, Raising Arizona, peak Nicolas Cage. He can do no wrong because of that movie. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing good. Like The Rock, you know, great movie. Love it. Love it. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything good since. I'm just saying his best was, in my humble, stupid opinion, was that movie. And it wasn't just because of Nicolas Cage. Like, he was the leading man, so it all kind of hinges on him, and it doesn't work if he's not there being awesome. But the actress that plays his wife, I can't remember her name, and John Goodman and that other guy, and the directors, the writing, the dialogue, the way that they talked. Hey, Upper Classfield, go fuck yourself. National Treasure was fun. He sounded horrible in Con Air. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not saying he never did anything bad. I even think Face Off was good. Holly Hunt, thank you, Pork. Yeah, but Face Off was good. I'm not saying he hasn't done good, but good Lord, I will forever be a Raising Arizona is the best forever. Have I seen him in Lord of War? I don't even know what that is. I think it is my favorite Coen Brothers. Didn't Coen Brothers do No Country for Old Men? Because that is a fucking amazing movie. But Raising Arizona was kind of funny, and No Country for Old Men was kind of dour and dark and depressing. Yeah, he's a good actor, for real. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Sigourney Weaver. It is a hard name to spell for Sigourney Weaver. It is awesome, Globulus. I love that name. Yeah, the Coen brothers, they kind of bring out, like, they only make a movie when they really have something to say. And they do bring out the best, it seems. I agree with you. I don't know if somebody's, if there's nepotism involved, if the actor actually does good work. It's hard enough to get recognized. A movie about Kiss. That would be interesting. Another band that I've always been aware of them, but I don't know much about them. But I think that could be interesting. I've actually been listening to a Kiss song on repeat often the last couple days or the last couple of weeks or so. That God Gave Rock and Roll to You from Bill and Ted's second movie. I actually love that song by Kiss. But Kiss also holds the record, in my personal opinion, for the most fucking stupid, ridiculous music video and song almost ever. Anybody want to take a guess before I take some guesses as which video song from Kiss is the stupidest one ever done? And I honestly can't speak on it because I don't know almost any of their videos, but I watched this one online not too long ago. I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so bad. How can they think this is awesome? This is so fucking childishly dumb. Globulus, 100% correct. The video, Lick It Up, that song, that video is so stupid. It is so cheesy, bad, dumb. Oh my gosh. Ronnie Nelson, am I missing pieces? Is that what you're saying right there? You're right. Yeah, that song, Lick It Up by Kiss, is so stupid. And that video is just atrociously bad. Oh my God. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like they're taking this seriously. And Gene Simmons that guy's a weirdo. But the lead singer of Kiss, whatever that guy's name is, that guy can belt it out. That guy can sing. I like him. You tried to hang yourself every time it played, but I lived. Lick it up. Lick it up. I wonder what they're talking about. Lick what up? It's probably not a sexual thing, is it? Rat. I don't need a movie about them. You go down that rabbit hole. Why not a biopic about Warrant? Or, God, what are some of those other 80s hair band ridiculous ones? I'm trying to think. Guns N' Roses. I want to see Guns N' Roses. That one's legit. They were a major band. Why don't we get a biopic about Slaughter? How about them? Shin Godzilla has a crazy design. I've never actually sketched Godzilla ever before this one, and this is kind of the current American movie version. So I haven't done that one. Yeah, Gene Simmons. He's kind of he seems like a slime ball. How about a Guar biopic? Anybody remember them? I knew nothing about them until Beavis and Butthead mentioned them, how badass they were. I don't think they were right, but at least I knew about them. Iron Maiden. Hell, let's do Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen deserves some shine, right? He was a great guitarist. AC/DC, I'd actually think would be interesting. Like they're a Scottish band, right? That guy with that ridiculous screechy voice. And then, what was the name of the lead guitarist that everyone was so keen on? That badass guy. Can't remember his name. I listened to Thunderstruck. Australian. Oh God, right. Where did I get Scottish from? What the hell was I thinking? Yeah, Angus. Thank you. God, it was on the. I know it. I know his name. Always dressed in like that schoolboy outfit. Um, but yeah, Thunderstruck with that little thing he would do on the end of the guitar with just his fingers. That shit is so badass. Maybe because the band members have Scottish names. See, now I'm confused. I don't know shit. Imagine having to transcribe Ozzy's speech patterns into a speech bubble. Yeah, Ozzy's like, motherfucking, and then his voice singing sounds nothing like his voice talking. Scorpions, Judas Priest, Air Supply. Yeah. See, there's so many. Let's start with the big names first, though. Can Ozzy still sing? I thought he was kind of like kind of an invalid these days. Anybody watch that? Was it on Netflix or was that biopic about Motley Crue? That shit was actually kind of terrible. Guys, I might need to wrap this up here. It's getting late, and as usual, I got to go make sure my kids are still alive. Let them know that their daddy still loves them, even though I'm stuck in here for hours on end. Thanks for joining, Globulus. Thanks for joining the conversation. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been about 2.5 hours, so that's a solid stretch, right? Yeah, someone saying thanks, man. Appreciate it. I know you were tired, but thanks for joining in.